Hey everyone, Ice King here, and welcome back to FrostCast episode 22. We are back. Skipped a week, not much happened last week, and I was working in some crazy 11, 12-hour shifts for whatever reason. So that threw me off. Yeah, I told you about it, and you're like, what's going on? And I'm like, not fun things. Yeah, that kind of ruined my painting, and all the stamina I had, like all the momentum I had, gone. So now I'm trying to find that back.
Yeah.
So, but this week, I should be able to get some Coven worked on, get them ready for Nova, as it appears that I'm actually liking Orgoth a lot. We'll get into that later. I'm actually I feel like I'm learning them, and it makes more sense now.
We're getting there.
Yeah. What have you been up to last 2 weeks?
I'm finally getting a new air conditioner.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We can go back to your playing at your house.
Yeah, we can go back to my house now that my air conditioner's going to be fixed.
And as you'll see in the gameplay later, we played on a kitchen table that was 3 feet and not...
Yeah, we made it work. We made it work, right? Because, I mean, the extra... I mean, you're not using the, 10 inches, really.
No.
Towards the end of the table, so...
We got new AC, so that's good.
Yeah. I don't think anything else has been going on.
You doing any painting?
I lost my first game of Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Oh, who beat you?
Some guy at the store. He's pretty good. So I tried a new list. Basically, this is the problem. I tried a new list, had no idea what to do with it, and then he brought his tournament list.
Oh.
And so he beat me.
Okay.
So, yeah, you know.
How'd you do? You think you did well against it?
No, I didn't do well, but the important thing is I learned a lot about his list and my list. And so big improvements, I think.
That's good.
For next time. Yeah.
Right.
That's what's important.
Kick his butt next time.
Yeah, well, I will. I'll bring X-Men next time and he won't have a chance.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't know what's coming.
He doesn't.
But yeah.
Nothing else, just work and planning, because my wife's leaving next month. So
for the TUI thing?
Yep.
Nice.
Should be gone all of August. So
yeah. And I'll represent you at Nova. Don't worry.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Don't worry. Hopefully I'll do well.
You better. We're training. Training hard.
But yeah, going into stuff that did happen eventually. There was Primecast came out.
Yep.
I didn't get a chance to listen to it. You want to go over what happened with it?
Not a lot in the Primecast. They recapped Siege Invitational, which we'll talk about later on. And basically Matt Wilson came on, talked about some Magnus, and then Magnus, and then Magnus again.
Just like the Primecast Plus.
Just like the Primecast Plus. But they were talking about release dates. They're going to have some of the Dusk starter boxes at Gen Con.
Oh, okay. But
not available online yet. So probably next week or the week after for street date on those. And then they were talking about Brian Blood's starter set also available at Gen Con. Similar thing. So it looks like Dusk and Brian Bloods are going to be released at the same time.
That's crazy. And
they are going to have Chimera preview models at Gen Con. So
for purchase?
No, not for purchase. Just looking. Okay. So we're going to get to see what they actually look like. So I can decide
how they are. Because you've seen the rules for them.
I've seen the rules. I like the rules. Yeah. Well, I like the playtest rules.
The rules.
Now that we can talk about it. I like the playtest rules, yes. But we'll see if that actually makes it into the final cut. And depending on what they look like, too.
Yeah.
That could be, 2024's army.
There you go.
Yeah.
That kind of leads us into the Siege.
So
go over some of the tournaments.
2 big tournaments happened over the weekend. Within the past 2 weeks. One was the Siege Invitational, which was down in Tennessee. Just put on the Minority Report. The guys we met at Bocor.
Good dudes.
Yep, good dudes. Grimkin took that one down. Not surprised, really, about that.
How was the list?
List was the Wanderer and Old Witch 2. So pretty standard stuff. Lots of Clockatrices, and then Kravitz and Skin and Moans. So
Skin and Moans are scary.
Yeah, they are. Nothing really crazy. What surprised me, though, was in the top 8, there were 2 Crucible Guards.
Okay.
And
another army you own.
Another army I own. And the funny thing is, it's 2 casters that I kind of forgot about. McKay, which is their battle engine caster. So the guy who got second, his first list is 3 battle engines, 1 being the caster, and then 4 more jacks. So this is all metal.
That's disgusting.
Actually. All metal, yeah. And surprisingly, some rocket men for funsies, I guess.
Yeah. Those guys are a little annoying to deal with.
They are. They're fast and shooty. And then in third place was a troll list.
Oh.
The new trolls.
Sorry, I'm eating.
Yeah, he's eating.
Games never stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Orgoth leg day. But a good mix. I like the troll list because one is a melee and one is a shooty, so it forces your opponent
Just
into
like you talked about.
into questionable, you know.
What's he gonna play next?
What's he gonna play? Yeah. And then the War Manchester
Good name.
took
Good
place
name.
over in England, and it was taken down by Infernals.
Spicy.
Which I like to hear that, as we'll go into more why Infernals are really great later. But again, a very diverse top 8. 2 trolls. The lists aren't available on Longshanks. I'm sure if we went looking, we could find them. But
I'm sure Grimkin's pretty similar.
Grimkin.
Is this a new Signar or old Signar?
So that is New Signar.
Okay.
So Infernals, Grimkin, and New Signar were top 3. And Tim Wiggins actually is a previous Trollbloods player. He's a part of the Trollbloods Scrum podcast, if anybody ever listened to that. And he also does Bulldozer Terrain, which is the printable terrain.
Oh, that you have, yeah.
A lot of printable terrain I have. So, but good diverse top 8s on both of them, I think.
I think that's good to see.
It is good to see.
I've seen a lot of Mercs up in there. Travis is playing a lot of Mercs lately.
So I see Mercs in 4th place of Travis. So Travis was at Siege, but no Mercs over here. The only Merc went 1-3. Sorry, Sean Homan. Not a good day for you.
Sometimes it's not your day.
Sometimes.
But yeah, I think a tournament that happened earlier before both of those, there was a tournament where Travis played. He won with Mercs.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
So I remember the post. So yeah. And then they won 2 tournaments, like a couple tournaments a while ago.
Yes, they did.
Just in general.
But again, the tournaments are being so diverse by winning by so many different factions.
Yeah.
It's and now that the factions are all released, the meta is not fully evolved yet. So I think
it's good to see though. I love seeing like the diverse tops because it means you can play almost whatever and have a chance.
Yeah. But I will say that the War Manchester itself was 100 points.
And so is Siege.
And the Siege Invitational was 100 points.
Yeah, I think
just throwing that out there for whomstever.
I think next year we see a transition to 100 points for.
I want to see 125.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm not scared. I'm a madman.
I'm scared of that.
Okay,
Jeez, my lord. That's a 100-point list with like
a colossal.
Yeah.
That's like Total War or whatever it's called.
Going back to like some Mark II times.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be. I think we'll see 100. I think we'll see everything switch to 100 points. Hopefully a new Steamroller packet because it's kind of dated at this point.
Yeah, they didn't really put a lot of. They
kind of just rolled into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's where a lot of the confusion among the community is coming from.
So to be fair, right? So if you look at the narrative scenarios that are released,
they're really good.
They're good.
They're really good.
And they're like already scenario based. So it's like you have a continuing steamroller like every quarter.
Yeah.
You don't have the the standard steamroller stuff, but you have this narrative event that is quarterly and they just keep updating it. So I don't know if they're going to put a lot of effort into steamroller going into the future.
What does that mean for competitive play, though?
I mean, it's just like in 40K. Like, 40K doesn't put a lot. Like, they have rules for competitive play, but like the ITC, which is run by Frontline Gaming, they put out a lot more rules than 40K does. So maybe we see something like that evolve. Like, Tried and True, Minority Report, people that are running these big events all get together. Tyson out in Vegas, they all get together and like, all right, let's make a scenario pack or who is it, Gonzo in Warfare Weekend? And they get together and they're like, all right, what are your thoughts on this scenario pack?
It's like a fan-built
yearly, like January 1 to December whatever.
I think that'd be really good.
So you have like Adepticon, Gen Con, LVO, Warfare Weekend, Bocor,
Nova.
Siege, Nova. Yeah, so you have like, let's say, I just counted 7, so like 8 to 10 cons that are all running this steamroller, if you want to call it that.
I don't think that'd be a bad idea. And all those people that we listed are fantastic people. They know the game very well, lots of game knowledge. I'm sure they could come up with something really good. And they care about the game. They love they like Mark IV. They're playing it a lot. They want to push it. They want to grow it.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably a good way. And if that's how it's done, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we can go into one little side talk before we get to our game. Magnus.
You want to talk about him again? They talked about it like 6 times on the podcast, on the Primecast.
I know. We're going to talk about it for not as long. But like, do you think it's going to be viable in comp list, or do you think it's going to be more of a narrative thing?
He's 20 points.
He is a lot. But he does bring a lot, I feel.
He does.
Because it's a mini caster and a big like character jack.
Right.
Because character
So
jacks are 17.
here's my problem with him, and I'm not gonna say he's bad, but I don't think he's as good as other options. So let me give you an example. The How many boxes does he have? I think he has 34.
Okay.
Let's see, Invictus has 34 boxes, right? He's 20 points. You get a little mini caster.
Yeah.
Which hopefully most of the time will not get like assassinated because he's only got 10 points. Or he's only got 10 hit points. And he's got, armor 14.
Yeah.
Or power 17 or armor 17. So decent stats. However, you have like Kador's 80 millimeter and their blast damage is enormous, right? So you have, hopefully he's behind Invictus.
Yeah,
right.
Like he doesn't get sniped off the board too. He's early.
Correct.
Because that does just kill your 17 point.
Other thing I have a problem with is he worth for 6 more points.
Yep.
Generally, 6 to 8 more points. You can bring a Colossal or a Gargantuan, right? So now is he gonna do enough to equal a Colossal for board control, for damage dealt, for trading points and attrition? I think most of the time he will, but I don't know where to put him. I don't know what army says, and maybe this is just not playing a wide enough army, but what army needs Magnus, right? Is any army really gonna benefit from bringing him over to bringing a light jack or a heavy jack and a solo? You know what I mean? Which is essentially what you're bringing.
Because the way I looked at it is, it's a character jack.
Yep.
With a 3-point solo.
Sure.
So, in terms of, let's just say Dusk, who has the most expensive solos in the game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You have your character jack, and then you get a 3-point solo.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if he's any good, but I'm just saying, a good 3-point solo, that's kind of nice.
I think...
Because all the characters are 17.
Right.
So that's how I'm comparing it. He's a character jack with a solo who does more than your average solo.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know if 20 points is worth that, because if I'm going to commit to killing him, I'm going to commit...
And there goes a fifth of your army.
And there goes a fifth of your army, yeah.
And it could be worse if you manage to, Tyrus just goes right away there.
Yeah, just goes walking into him, yeah.
And, smack the crap out of him. Because he's living, cast walk over Invictus.
Yeah, they just walk right by him, right? Or even the flying cavalry.
Yeah.
So... I don't know. I don't know if he's good. I don't think he's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know where to play him, though.
Yeah. I think he's going to make some very fun narrative games, though.
Sure. Yeah, I think the thing I suggested to John was we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if John takes that.
We'll give some advice to...
And if he says no, then I'll spoil it on the podcast, my idea.
But now we can go into our game.
Yeah.
Which was... We'll pull that up real quick.
Yeah.
I played Orgoth, but this time I played Horkrusk, and where did it go? There it is. Cool. And it's a little bit longer, but we played through. It's a full time lapse, and not just half the game this time.
Yeah, and also during the game we're talking a lot and discussing plays because he's practicing for Nova. I'm not, but he is. So if you see us stopping and talking for a while, that's pretty much what we're doing. Yeah. But to start off, my list was Omo, a Tormentor, and then the Guardian of Souls over here.
Big old Colossal.
Big old Colossal with a Wretch. We have Halen Vok, Roger, a unit of Cultists, Regna, and a Forebodar, and a unit of Howlers. And then you have...
I have 2 units, so not all my army's there, because you see my deployment zones a half an inch. Because of the table we were talking about earlier. Those two on the top right there are Axers. Both of them are an individual unit. The rest are over there on the side. And then we have Vanek right there, close to Axer, so she can bring him back. That's a Light Jack, and that's Horkrusk. That's the Tyrant. That's a Light Jack. That's the Reaver Commander. Behind those 2 are 2 units of Coven, and on the far right is a unit of the new Cav.
Yep. So we'll just go ahead and speed it up, and we'll go through the first turn. But
because I went first.
Yeah. So in this list, I kind of just took my 100-point Omo list before Colossals, dropped 3 of the Tormentors, and added the Colossal in essentially, and then dropped another unit of Howlers and something else to make it even. So
Yeah, right here, I'm moving up. I'm not used. I'm just being aggressive with my birds because I got the movement. I want him to move something into there, but he positioned his colossal on the correct side of the board because my axers probably were gonna do more damage than just a unit of harriers.
yes,
But I got them kind of just set it up, and then the light jacks have shields and pole arms, so they're kind of just positioned ready to be a menace with Horcrux's feet, and it kind of just set up so you could go, and then I have to. I'm trying to set up for alpha set.
yes. And my movement, I'm trying to stay out of your charge range. I try to do the cute Regna influence thing. It turns out you don't make a full advance, so I was like, oh, I'm not going to target the bird, then I'm going to target an axer. And the theme in this game is I cast, I hit, and then they do nothing.
Yeah,
so,
they don't hit each other very well, which is kind of useful.
Yeah. Can't combo strike, so, it is what it is. Measuring distance from the birds. I kind of put stuff out there for him to charge the birds, but he never took the bait, and which would be his downfall, as you can see. Oma walks up. I cast Locked Horns and Synergy, and then I choose not to, which may be a mistake, make a horror this turn. So I was thinking about making, if we go back, Roger a horror and putting it right there.
Yeah.
As either another Tormentor or Desolator. But then I thought maybe I should just do that turn 2 to have everybody ready to go. But because there wasn't going to be a lot of room here, because I know my Colossal wanted to be right here. Yeah. And that's where he ends up, as you can see. But I put him right outside of charge range of the Jackal.
And then, I could charge with the birds, but that's probably a charge.
Yeah, I didn't care if he charged with... I kind of wanted him to charge me with the birds, because I don't think he would have killed, one guy, and then I would have annihilated his birds. Yeah. So wasn't too scared of that. Which
I guess, at the end of the day, I should have done, because the birds did nothing the whole game.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So this is the end of turn 1. Pretty spread out. Gave him a charge over here with his Axers, that he could get a guy here and probably get 1 or 2 guys on my Tormentor. Which I didn't think with Locked Horns up, he could really kill him, which was ideal, because I wanted him to be up in my face and then have the Howlers and the Tormentor there to just kind of tear him up.
You can play a little bit, because we talked for here.
Yeah. And so we talk about the positioning and what's going on and what we should do here. We discussed, the Tormentor, why I put him there. If he wants to charge the Colossal, that's fine. I realized somebody was in charge range, moved it back a little bit.
Yeah, because right now I'm kind of just deciding what to do, because it's I don't want to play passive, because then he'll attack me, and then if I just go up there and gum him up, pop Horcrux feet, which ended up what I did anyway. That's probably my best bet with this exact situation, and you'll see as we'll skip through a little bit. Yeah, see now I decided to charge the guy, get over to the
basically fell right into my trap.
Oh, got me. Yeah, I just moved up, try to get some swings on there. He did hyper aggressive on me.
And then I was like, wait a minute. I don't want to make the same mistake that he did.
That was a bad idea. So he backed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm just in the point where I'm trying to gum him up, get up in his face and block him, strike. Sorry, bad words here. I'm tired.
All right, so essentially what he's trying to do this turn is he's going to muck me up into a wave attack, and he's going to run Horcrux up, or Horusk. Is it Horusk or Horcrux? Hori. He's going to run Hori up and pop feet for +3 armor, which should save a lot of his dudes. And it did.
Not a lot died. And you'll see where I placed the Jackal after in a little bit.
Yeah, so his big plan was to just run the Jackal up and engage what he could.
Because the Jackals are currently armor 22.
Yes.
Which is kind of rough.
It is rough, right? I couldn't do anything about it.
And the 2-inch reach with the polearm kind of does block a lot.
Yeah, so here, what we were talking about with his Tyrant, he wanted to get his Tyrant up for... He was going to take a shield shot at me, and I was like, dude, why?
Yeah.
If you do that, then my Colossus is literally going to walk up and kill you, so don't do that. That was what that was back and forth movement was.
Yeah.
So everybody moves over, that Jackal runs in. So basically he's trying to block his zone and gum up my zone to try to get ahead on scenario here.
The left half of the table was I feel like I positioned pretty well for just to have a good wave.
Yeah.
You did because of Ghost Walk, you kind of walk right through it anyway. But it didn't really affect me too bad.
I think it did, because you'll see why.
Oh yeah, because you spiked on Vanek and killed her.
Yeah. Well, I had 3 attacks on her. I mean, come on, I was due. But you'll see. So he runs up, pops feet. So one thing.
This is mistake number 1.
Mistake number 1 was this right here. If you see his birds didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Big mistake, because he should have either just tried to engage my Colossal or tried to just come over here with the Howlers.
I should have done something with him.
You should have done something, correct.
And you were saying move them far right or far left, or in this case, over the top.
Over here?
Yep, or over to the bottom.
Right, so
out of range, so then they can come back in.
Correct. Because you had this side, you were dominating this side for sure. You could either super dominate this side, or you could fly them out to here on this side of the board to threaten another flank. So my turn starts. I do try to influence a guy. I got it, and then nothing happened. And then I summoned a Forebodar, but you'll see, I had to read the rules. She can't do that anymore. So I removed it later on.
So he's cheating, so I technically won.
Yeah, of course. First thing, Roger moves up, makes a spell cost 1 less. Wretch moves up, gives him a free attack.
Is where you cast Blessing on the axes.
Oh, and I upkeep synergy and killed a cultist.
And over here you played Blessing to give your weapons magical. Yes. Shoot through, because this unit had IR on them.
Yes, that unit had IR, so I was like, this is the best time to use it, so I'm going to start chewing through them with that Tormentor.
It did work.
And I ate 2 of them and healed almost back to full. So
unfortunate.
I got 2 souls for Omo over there. And then I calculated my charge range. And if you see here, there's a little space right here that he left open for me to charge. And then Omo just kind of comes and hides behind this building, threatening to walk around and just annihilate what's ever over here.
Now he's swinging on the Jackal up there.
Yep, with Omo in the back. And then I decided to drop the Tormentor, which now, looking back, should have done it turn 1.
Yeah, because then it could have just charged.
Yep. And then the since I can't charge because I was engaged and I get +2 movement, he just walked up 8 inches, which is very impressive for a Colossal. He just sashayed up 8 inches into melee range of the Jackal and these 2 birds.
Yep.
So he never left. So even didn't worry about Unstoppable. Didn't want to bulldoze him. Just walked up and started laying waste. It's 2 more souls from the birds, and then I start pumping into the Jackal and eat the Jackal.
I think Jackal served its purpose.
Jackal did serve its purpose, kind of.
Yeah.
I think if you'd had the bird still, it would have served its purpose. I think it was a waste.
Yeah.
Since that had happened.
Because the birds were in the that spot.
Yep. So I move up my cultists behind them. They load up 2 and 2, and that's my turn. Oh wait, no, Howler's got to go.
Yeah.
Howlers end up charging.
That little spot right there.
Yep, that little spot right there.
Millimeters away from blocking you.
I think it took all 3 of my attacks.
Yeah,
but
defense 15, armor 15 is coming.
Yeah. I did get her, which was cool because she can't bring anybody back.
Yep.
So at this point, I'm sitting pretty good. I score 1 over here on the flag. Yep. He scored 0 because I'm contesting with the Colossal. He's got this guy over here, and nobody's on this flag.
And this is kind of where I'm deciding like how to push, how to swing. But I rolled kind of bad on the horrors because like my axers didn't do anything on getting them. It took like 3 axers to kill 1 dude.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely missed this guy right here a lot.
Because then 1 guy missed that. I committed to the other 2. Let's see, decide what we're doing here. Because you have a million focus.
Yeah, so we're talking about what he can do about the Colossal. Now, I hadn't played with Colossals in Mark 4, obviously, because they just came out. And I remember in Mark 3, they were kind of a pushover. So I was like, if you commit enough, you can probably kill it.
And this is where I was like, is Horcrux and the Jack enough? And he's like, yeah, I think so.
It should have been.
And I got halfway through it.
You got halfway through it? Yeah. Well, you rolled kind of bad.
I rolled average. We did the math after. I did roll.
Rolled slightly below average, but yeah. Oh, and you also forgot, this is a pro tip, you forgot Dark Shroud. And Dark Shroud would have made a big difference.
Yes. So yes, if you play Orgoth, do not forget Dark Shroud on Coven, because that is free -2 armor.
It's free real estate.
Free real estate.
Yeah. So, but I'm feeling pretty good about this position. Obviously, I've lost to this side of the board, but this side of the board is pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's just like opposites. That building in the way. That building was doing a good job of separating our armies. Yeah, this is where I start swinging and missing.
Yep. Then you switch dice.
Yeah, because I was like, man, these dice. I don't know. Every game I have to switch dice. They started off better this time. The red dice did do well in the beginning. But yeah, we're kind of just going through doing this basic stuff. Trying to kill that horror so my Reaver can walk through and get to the flag. Got him finally. Got my Reaver over there to score that flag. He charged or just moved up. I think he charged.
I think he charged, yeah. Did some good damage on that one. Then the light jack comes in.
Toes his own, as you should.
And he
Almost
doesn't
finished.
quite finish him off. So then you have to bring the bird in.
I did use a Horcrux reroll. I remembered.
You
and
did.
It did worse damage. As you'll see right here, backs it up.
Yeah.
And then did 2.
Yep.
So that time it didn't work out for me. Oh well. Yeah,
Bird comes in, finishes up the horror.
Yeah. Then repose 3, get on the zone just to have more in the way. Now we're starting to commit for the Colossal. Horcrux goes in and then just starts swinging for the fences.
And does not do
no.
a lot of damage.
Like that one he did 1. And then he did 4. And then I vanished out.
Or you repoed out. I think you played the card.
Okay.
You vanished.
Yeah.
You had to vanish to get a charge arc.
Yeah,
you can't go
that's
through.
what it was.
So this is the flail, and it's doing like no. If you go back.
Yeah, go back a little bit. So go back a little bit more than that. So this is going in the flail right here. You can see the circle on the right.
Yep.
They did a little bit there, not bad. And then nothing. And then, yeah, as you see, it's not going up very much.
Okay.
It was doing so much damage, his phone closed out.
Yeah. It's like, well, you're not taking any damage, so I'll just stop.
Mm-hmm.
So this is pretty much like the end of the game. We'll play it out, but essentially, pretty sure I got a lane on Horcrux with Omo and the Colossal.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening here is kind of funny. I walk up with the
Wait,
wretch.
you missed. No, over there with the horrors.
With the horrors, I do the vengeance stuff. Missed terribly, and I was like, all right, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But now I'm in a zone contesting. Over on this side, Wretch walks up, and I was like, oh, gotta be within 3. Takes a shot at the solo, kills him, which is important because now I can just swing around, and now I'm in range of Horcrux and this Jack.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that the Colossal could kill Hori, so I needed to
Kill the Jack.
I needed to either kill the Jack or do chain smash and grab and throw him out of the way.
And this is where you can correct us if we were wrong.
Yeah.
We didn't know the direction on the throw, and we didn't look it up. We kind of just said, oh, you can throw in any direction.
Right, because it didn't matter. Either I buy another attack to kill it because the Jack was so almost dead. But I rolled a 5, and I was like, I'm going to throw him over here. And then since he's knocked down, I'm just going to keep hitting him.
Yeah.
And blow him up. And then I got him. And then last attack on Horcrux, we did a lot of damage.
That was so you hit, and then you're like, cool. Because he had no focus, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I used all of it to try to kill the Colossal.
And then he squeezed around and just beats him down.
Yep, 2 swings, easy peasy, good game.
Yep.
And we did talk it out. We walked it, like, we played best case scenario for both of us. And even with best case scenario for me, the Colossal was extremely hard to deal with.
We did the math on the averages. The Colossal would have been very, very hurt. Like, it would have been down to very minimal
Yeah.
damage, or very minimal hit points, but it still wouldn't have died. Which would have forced me to walk those cultists up and heal it. And I would have had to get really good rolls for it to heal back
Enough.
But Colossal is pretty good against...
that leads into our Colossal's any good. The Infernal ones apparently are.
The Infernal ones are good, yes. I think so. I think with the 4-inch aura that gives everybody +2 armor against constructs, undead, and soulless models
That's
are
huge,
great.
especially with how many War Machine armies there are right now.
Yep.
That's huge.
I also think the other one that they have is also really good. the shooty one, essentially. That's the one that you saw in there that's painted. The other one that I have is not painted because I never played it in the previous, but I guess I'll have to paint it now.
Yeah, because apparently it did well in a tournament.
Yeah. Other Colossals, I don't know if you've looked at any, like
the
Reds.
Hyperion. I looked at Hyperion. It looks pretty much the same. The AoE is pretty good.
Yeah.
It was AoE 8-4, 18, 12 or something. It was a pretty good. It had range 12 or range 14. It was a good hit.
Right.
Otherwise, it was just another big Colossal. We'll see if I play Ret. I don't know. I'm kind of undecided on my own army because I've been so absorbed with excuse me, so absorbed with just painting Orgoth and learning Orgoth now. Kind of undecided on where I want to go. Still leaning on Dusk, obviously. They're fun, but we'll see when those actually ever come out fully. That's kind of also a big thing. It's like, man, I want to play Dusk, but it's like, I'm not going to paint them in time for even remotely.
Well, they're not even going to be out.
Yeah, they're not even going to be out. They'll be out maybe, let's just say August 15th. That's cool. That's just a starter. Yeah, I need the cats.
You do need the cats.
The cats are like a big thing in that army. Mm-hmm. And like, some people, like, there's like, I've seen some people like in the forums and stuff, they're like, oh, you don't need the cats. Those cats are pretty gross.
You're right. You don't need the cats, but you want the cats.
Yeah, you want at least.
You want the cats.
Yeah.
Like, really bad.
Because it's, with Tyrus, you have range 15 charges. That's gross. Like, that's your threat range. 15. That is a lot.
Yeah.
And then you're, against living things, you're doing extra damage. You're getting easy hits with the charge. And that's what the one thing in Dusk that makes it easier to hit is Cav on the charge.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, in Dusk, there's not a lot of ways to boost to hit, which is one of its kind of downfalls. Which, yeah, balances. But
Cav, you're the glass cannon, though.
Yeah, 100%. So. The Cav also, if you don't kill them, they do damage back. Mm-hmm. So like against solos, so you get like if they charge a Jack repo onto a solo if that's just how it worked out, that solo doesn't kill a cat, it's dying too. Because if it has 5 boxes and it swings twice, hits one but doesn't kill because of tough or whatever, there's D3. Let's just say you do 2.
Yeah. So it's 1810.
1810
crit consume
for the Hyperion.
Yeah, which is kind of big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crit
consume's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's the rest of it? Power 21, range 2 weapons.
You're Rat 5. Boo.
Ow. I guess, I mean, you just buff it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you run a couple Arcanus units or whatever, and just kind of like the Orgoth Jacks, you just run things to buff its shooting all day, and then just it'll shoot a lot. Mm-hmm. I didn't look at the other one. The Helios was kind of like the one that moved things around. So
I haven't looked at the Helios either.
How's let's look at the Menoth. We're looking at the Menoth one right now.
Judicator, rocket pods, range 13, AoE 3, 14-8, not bad. 2 flamethrowers. Spray 10, power 12, continuous fire, not bad. And then 2 fists with 21. So
Beagle will be pretty happy.
With the Crier, you're getting +2 damage. So that's actually. Do they do shooting? They might be pretty good.
Ooh. I have to bring out Beagle again.
Crier.
I think he maybe fixed his kitchen by now.
Yeah, right. Oh no, it just +2 on damage rolls. So the Judicator
looking pretty nice.
Is looking real nice actually. So that's a power 16, 10, range 13, AoE 3, and then power 14 sprays, and then armor 23 fists.
Gross.
So and it's 60 hit points. So it's a monster. 19.
Okay.
Defense 8 though, so
easy to hit.
Good luck.
I knowing my dice, I'll miss.
Yeah. But yeah, overall Infernals I think got a boost that they didn't need.
Yeah, and especially against that thing with the Dusk you mentioned, they have a boost against Dusk.
Yeah, they have a boost against Dusk with the 4-inch armor bubble essentially.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think Infernals got a lot better.
Yeah, I think it was a good game though.
Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah.
We did take that. I posted in the Tried and True Discord. I was like, who should we play? Akers, being the king and Chad that he is, was like, play Infernals. I was like, all right. And it's perfect because you love Infernals and I need to learn Orgoth. So overall, good game. He did send me a list. I think it'll play a little better.
Yeah.
It plays with 1 more Tyrant, no Harriers. So that might fit he said it'll fit me better. The man's a wizard when it comes to list building.
I mean, he plays like every day, right?
Yeah, he's a master. If you're listening to this, thank you for all the support. You always true chat of the community. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
So,
yeah.
You want to hear about this story? The sock in the house thing. So
Sure.
this is a work story. This is completely unrelated. Now we're at the end of the podcast. We have a.
Are we done with the War Machine stuff?
I think so.
For the 2 War Machine fans we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. This is going to be a life debate on your cleanliness.
Okay.
So we have a captain at work. He is very opinionated sometimes, and like when you get him started, he's going off the whole time.
Okay.
So this time it was about: do you wear socks in your house?
Okay.
That's the question. Do you wear socks in your house?
Sometimes.
Sometimes he thinks you're gross. He wears socks immediately. No barefoot, no nothing.
Why?
Because your floor is dirty.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his whole thing.
That's it?
That's it. And then, like, but he would like, because one of our other coworkers is like, no, I don't ever wear socks. And he's like, you're gross, man. You're so gross. You're not even allowed in my house.
Well, the fraternization, so of course he's not allowed in his house.
It was an officer.
Oh, officers.
I know, right? But yeah, it was like, I was just curious where you felt on that.
I mean, sometimes I wear socks, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. Yeah,
Yeah.
my floor's dirty. I have 3 kids, so of course my floor's dirty.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah, he felt so weird about me because I was like, yeah, I wear socks, but if it's warm, like I'm gonna take my socks off.
But what if he like steps in a puddle? Like he spilled some water.
So this is where it got funny, and we started to get him a little bit. We're like, what about when you shower? Do you take your socks off to go to the shower? He's like, yeah, but I'm like, your floor is dirty. You walked from the clean shower on the dirty floor to your bed to put your socks on. He's like, he's like, you got me. But like, we're like, bro, your feet are dirty now.
Yeah.
You ruined it.
Weird thing. Weird
He's
thing
so
to
funny.
die on a hill over.
It's funny, his last name's Hill.
No, okay. Well, you can't say that. You're doxing him, bro.
No one knows who he is. No one listens to this.
Yeah, you're right.
I might send it to him and be like, here, there you go.
You're like, what is this War Machine stuff?
Yeah, I'm like, just skip to the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Yeah, so your feet are dirty. There you go.
All right. Cool,
Yeah.
I guess.
What do you guys wear socks in your house?
Yeah, socks or no socks?
Yeah. Or, here's the other one. When you go to somebody's house, do you wear socks? Or are you one of those people who would wear barefoot? Like, you're wearing socks right now.
Yeah, I'm wearing socks right now.
Yeah. But, like, would you ever go barefoot?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm wearing sandals, like over the summer...
See, that's what I said. If you're wearing sandals, like, I get it.
Yeah.
But do you put your feet up on people's furniture? Like, kick your feet up, like...
Would I put it on a table? No. Would
Like
I
a
put it on
coffee
like
table?
an ottoman?
Like a coffee table.
Coffee table? No.
Okay. See, there's a story for later. Somebody in our squadron who would, and he went off on him.
I mean, if it's an ottoman, yeah, but if it's
No,
a coffee
it was like
table,
it was like
then
tables.
no. I
Yeah.
would not put my feet on a coffee table.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay. He
It's
was
just
not
rude.
Yeah, I know, right? But I'll tell you after who it was. It'll make sense.
Okay. All right.
All right. I think that's kind of sums it up. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed that little like how we did the bat rep.
Yep.
Enjoyed our little weird foot sock ramble at the end.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I was just curious. 'Cause I know you had 3 kids, and I'm like, your floors are definitely dirty.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's pepperonis all over my floor tonight, via pizza. So.
All right. Have a good one. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.